Merry meet everybody, and welcome to my show. If you haven't been here before, welcome back to my show if you have. I'm Lady Leanna, a 3rd degree Wiccan High Priestess of an Eclectic order, and today I'm here to talk to you about the extreme importance of having a religious idea, a spiritual idea of what you're doing before you cast up any magic or even begin to pray for anything specific. Having a fair idea as to what path or branch of paths you're leaning toward, what aspect of the God system you would be calling to, and having a fair idea of what you feel to be right or wrong within yourself before casting any magic whatsoever, because this can be very dangerous on so many different levels. Mainly, I'm just worried about you destructing your path before you've even found it. So often we get excited whenever we find a new path or a new idea as to the direction we're heading within pathways. And so we cast up an altar, we start throwing around magic or whatever, later on to find out that it doesn't go along with what we develop into pathwise. And then it could tend to harness or obstruct us from growth within the future, because we feel bad about ourselves or whatever, and it kind of halts things for us to some degree. And a lot of us are guilty about doing this because it's exciting. Let's face it, magic is one of the biggest things that draw us. And the mystery, that's another thing. But these are the things that draw us into looking into the paths that we are within paganism. Nonetheless, it's very bad for us to start casting up magic without knowing what we're doing. And what I always suggest to my students is that they take a year and a day path search. And I call it a year and a day path of knowledge and wisdom that one would embark on before actually attempting any magic or spell works whatsoever, so that they could use that time to gather all the knowledge and wisdom they can within the religious and spiritual aspects of such. Very important, people, very important. And if you do this, then later on when you do go into doing magical workings, then you can do so free and clear, knowing that you're doing right, and without it making you feel bad inside and making you even possibly walk away from that pathway because you feel you've already damaged it for yourself. And this isn't something that you should have hanging over your head. When embarking on a new path, you should enter into that pathway as a pure and new spirit, like a newborn baby entering into life, and without a bunch of crap hanging over your head set on you by other people, or by doing anything wrong, before you even found your pathway. Nonetheless, you also have to worry about a series of other things. Did you know that thinking dark and negative thoughts produces negative actions? Things that become as strong as a spell work, maybe even stronger, because in your natural everyday life, where you're not throwing up an altar, where you're not going through setup or extents to get ready for whatever, you just have that free and clear time where subconsciously and consciously together, acting as a unity, you're staring daggers at somebody's head, or you're thinking about or wishing, something, and this is really something you have to watch out for. I myself have been guilty of thinking negative on somebody and it happening, and I felt guilty for over 20-something years about that. And only recently I've released myself from that don't hold it to myself anymore, because I feel that I paid my penances for it. Nonetheless, why go into that if you can avoid it to begin with? That's why, another good reason for the year and a day path of knowledge and wisdom and spiritual and religious learnings. That way you could train yourself, in good guru fashion, to be positive, to be patient, to be worthy of other people's acknowledgement within spirituality. And that would all together make you feel a lot better about yourself, trust me. I have been teaching within this field for a great many years, and I've been walking in it for about 30 years. Now, I have a lot of students. I mean, they aren't actually students anymore, because I don't teach on a one-on-one level like I used to, because I grew kind of tired of it and needed a rest. But I have these students, I call them my kids, looking up to me, and they've spread all over the place, so I can't even keep up with them anymore. They all know where I'm at, and that's what I feel is important. So if they ever need me, they can seek me out. I would be there for them, of course. However, they do still call for spiritual guidance. Is it wrong to do this? Is it alright to do that? And it's good that they do this. They contact their teacher, or that you contact your teacher if you've got one, before acting on anything for the first several years or even many years of your pathway, so that you won't be guilty of doing wrong and it hanging over your head. So acknowledgments from others or fellowshipping, is always good. Getting input from other people, or just, joining a group if you know how to pick one very carefully, online. All in all, a year and a day path is what I ascribe to for my students, as a path of knowledge and wisdom, at which they will set out to obtain only the religious and spiritual aspects of their pathways, or of the many pathways they're leaning toward, before doing any magics or whatsoever. And then beyond that, even, a year and a day following that of dedication to whatever path you've chosen, or to whatever pantheon, or God or goddess. So really and truthfully, I suggest you take these knowledges and wisdoms very much into considerations, because I'm here to help you. It doesn't benefit me at all to sit here and say this to you, but I care, and I guess in that way it does benefit me, because I feel that I've done my job. If you are watching my videos, and if I am teaching you anything whatsoever to do with Wicca, or shamanism, druidry, or whatever pathway you're in, and you've listened to me and you've done what I've asked, then I can feel good that I'm not giving you a loaded pistol, putting it in your hand and saying, okay, shoot at will, whichever direction you want to. Because this, my friends, would not be a good thing whatsoever.